Okay guys, here's the video that I promised about how to make the game work with shit ton of mods. But before I explain anything, let me just scroll through the load order very quick, just in case. So you guys can later, click back to the video faster. So index 1 to 47. Index 47 to index 97. Index 97 to index 146, index 146 to 191, index 191 to index 237, and 237 to 252. So yeah, about the mods. So what I do basically, I will explain some of these mods because some of you will just know what the mod is about when you're a little bit more experienced, but there are also some people that are not that experienced. So yeah, first of all, I'll need to let you know I'm using Fallrim tools, where you can use the program to clean your save games. So if you have crashes and you're like really sure it's not your game or your mod, it's basically the save game that has like leftover shit from other mods, for example. And then you can go search for Fallrim tools on Google, and it will basically be in the description how to do it. It's basically just 3 clicks, I believe. Yeah. And then you can clean your save file. I clean my save file like every first or second week, just in case. And it helps a lot. So the other thing that I did is I was against it because I used so many mods and Horizon, but now I use Loot, like Loot, the program that does your load order and stuff. And then what I did is, because Loot of course fucked up my load order with Horizon, I put everything that had to do something with Horizon in the plugins list. I put it all at the end. So at the end it's like Horizon and then all the patches from Horizon. And that's basically the thing. So, but now I go through the mods and which one you should install first. So animation is these mods. Grab the dynamic. You basically need that stuff for animations. Button lowered first, like weapons, is like to lower your weapon so that you don't have to run around drawing it with all the time. Swinging animated meatbags is just, you see that they swing a little bit. It's a little bit more immersive. And this is just a better walking animation. The armors don't really matter. You can install that shit first if you want. You know? Armor Smith Extended and all DLCs you basically need. It's like the best thing ever. For example, it can make your like armor pieces go invisible if they don't fit with your armor or clothing. Audio is just something that mutes the music that gets repetitive all the time when a battle starts, for example. Audio, you can also, well, I would activate that near the end, like before you install Horizon and gameplay effects changes, because sometimes these mods don't work when they're like activated first. I call that the mod manager forgets mods sometimes to like load them in when they're too far above in the load order. Out of like, that's my experience with it. So I only have the ghouls that they have the clicker sound from Last of Us, reverb and ambience overhaul. I don't really need to explain that, just get it. It's for better sounds. This is just ambient sounds in the wasteland. Was a mod for Fallout 3 and New Vegas as well. And then better explosions and realistic gun sounds and bullet cracks. You have also preview videos on their on the file. Yeah, just checking if I'm really recording. Voice is just Wasteland Codex, where you have a spoken like database for everything that has something to do with Fallout. It's really cool. Bug fixes, of course, unofficial Fallout 4 patch, you need that. Wetness shader fix is when sometimes your characters feel like too wet, or you think they are always wet. This can reduce it. Cheats and God's item is Cheat Terminal is a very great mod if you just want to build and cheat yourself stuff without using the console, or if you're missing a key item or a quest item or something gets broken or yada yada. It basically can fix all that stuff for you. Loading is very simple. You can actually use that right at the beginning and install it at the same time with armors. JC Bikini, you need that basically if you're doing YouTube and all that stuff, because nude bodies don't work well with YouTube videos. Then it's just earwings, armor mod, accessories, stuff, and earrings. Clothing is backpacks of the Commonwealth, a very good mod with a new backpack system for the game. Bobbleheads Fallout 4 edition basically just changes the appearance of the of the heads. Companions is the great companion mod for Heather Casdin and Ellen. These are basically the two best voiced companion mods on the Nexus for Fallout 4 right now. Don't use better companions because you don't really need that, it's in conflict. But something companion accuracy boost is actually really good because your companions hit shit. So that's really good. Amazing follower tweaks is, from my perspective, the most important mod because you can edit your companions. For example, if you load one of my companion overhaul mods on the Nexus, I'm XXVVXX on the Nexus, by the way, if you're looking for my outer name. With this mod you can tweak, if you load a companion overhaul, you can still tweak and change stuff like hair color, tattoos, scars and stuff. So that's basically the most important thing. It also makes the AI better for your companions. Wintermute is a companion, it's like a cyborg basically, but it's like, you want a custom companion, you can basically spawn a Wintermute that you can edit then the same way as like creating your own character. So that's very good. Deeper Thoughts Curie. Well, it's more dialogue for Curie, all that. Valentine Reborn. And then Heather Casdin Unique Double Overhaul, that's my overhaul. Crafting, I have a shit ton of crafting stuff. Build your own pool, basically you can build your own pool. If you're really good, you can actually build like seas, little seas, rivers, stuff like that, but it's basically for pools. Do it yourself, with shelves and clutter. Increase build, limit, enhance. It's so you can build more stuff in your settlement without that the marker doesn't go full that quick. Scrappable Commonwealth, basically so you can scrap stuff outside of the Commonwealth. So that's very important if you're using Conquest like me, so you can build a custom settlement wherever you want. Not your average neon, it's just neon signs. You can build neon signs and stuff like that. Very cool. This mod is basically so you have better electric poles. You can connect the ones that are mostly broken in the game world. Now you can use them. Better settlement lights is very good, so the lights don't look that shit in the game in your settlement at night. Then custom paintings, displays. This is for resources like workshops for your settlers and all that stuff. This is water resources. It's water storage items like tanks, water towers, rainwater collectors, all that stuff. Invisible furniture is basically stuff you can put down where your settlers use animations, but don't put down too much if you have a shit ton of mods, because sometimes when you go into your like settlement, you see the markers actually, even though they should be invisible, and when you go into the settlement mode, like workshop mode, and then go back out of it, they are gone. But then if you place them over your whole settlement, you will see them all the time. They just load in. So don't use too much. And this is unique furniture. You basically where your people can also interact with. These are very good because, for example, if you put them in stores and stuff like that, like the store vendor, for example, will inspect crates and all that fun stuff if you use the mods from this mod. So it's very great. Um, this is just a patch for EMBs so that something gets fixed. I believe it's something with brightness or with depth of field. I'm not sure. I believe this disables something, but I forgot what. Anyway, I need it. And you too, maybe. So read the description if you need it. If you have problems with the EMB. Then environment, just clean water. Sanctuary hills, water roads and bridge remade. I don't know if I need that at the moment though, because it's like eating up an ESP. Because I cleared out last time a little bit. And I keep it for now. Maybe I'll remove it later. Scorched Earth is a cool mod, but I removed it earlier so I can use Pine Forest. Looks really good in game. But be careful of FPS, you need to change your shadow draw distance for that. Check out the Pine Forest post section because there people have some good tips. Gameplay, I would actually install the LAS as like right before Horizon, so Horizon can override something of this if you need it. So just longer power lines, move, get out of the way, so settlers or companions don't block you. Easy hacking, self-explaining. VAFs is something like with slow time instead of stopping time with the original game. Start Me Up basically changes the whole main quest. You can play as somebody else, and like you can like the whole main quest line. You have different voice lines where you can act like you don't know shit about Sean and all that stuff. Fallout 4 like unlimited survival mode lets you like enables quick saves and all that fun stuff again via the MCM menu. So get this. Fallout 4 hotkeys is very important if you want to set the slowdown key, for example, on Q. You basically need the hotkey mod. More XP from quests because Horizon is very slow and this one gives me a little bit more. No more birds I used because the one mod removes all the trees and then birds sit on invisible trees and that's not so good. Hair, face and body I would actually also install at last so they actually show up in your looks menu and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so be in case the last thing you install with mods is the gameplay effects and changes, specifically Horizon and the patches. Install these at last. Before Horizon, you install the gameplay effects and changes, and before that, you install your hair, face, and body changes. But keep in mind, there are some mods that need the, for example, you need CBBE for a lot of stuff. CBBE you can install first. So, because you need that for most armors and all that fun stuff. Yeah, but I don't need to explain this one here. Hairstyles, yada yada. You know, custom stuff. To make your character look better. If you want to use looks menu, get looks menu companion, and the looks menu tattoos. That's the three best mods that you need to make your character look unique. Everything else is basically optional. What I love to use also is the Lux 512 standalone hair colors. Gives you, as the mod says, hundreds of new hair colors to choose from. Then for immersion, better flashlight, comments and head tracking. Tracks your head, your character also says stuff. Footsteps overhaul is very good, so you actually hear your footsteps and stuff. Then something that makes showers and baths and toilets working, very great mod. And Immersive Movement Seasoned Edition. Changes the movements of the player, NPCs, and all creatures so that it would make sense. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the mod that makes your character and all the enemies run more realistic. It's extremely cool with the immersive footsteps. Items, foods and drinks, just MREs, like meal ready to eat. Don't use this mod, made my game crash a shit ton of times. Just a better third rail. Don't use a better good neighbor right now because I needed place. Settlement menu manager is fine. Like for custom categories, raw input. You see what it does. And Sanctuary Hills cleanup. Maybe I can deactivate it. Yeah. Don't really need that because I basically abandoned Sanctuary and scrapped everything you can. Then you have settlements keywords expanded. That's basically a must-have. It's the same with AWKCR. Just don't ask, just get them. Basically, you need that. It's like no way around. Models and textures, it's the same what I said with the hair and body. Right? Install that as a second last thing. Like CBBE, Synth Overhaul, Gore Overhaul, Chem Redux, Enhanced Blood Textures, Glowing Eyes, even though I don't really need them anymore. Disable them. Mean Machine Eyes, Great Eyes, Sanctuary Hills Repair and Cleanup. Don't really need that also, can disable that. Check and Floors redone in 4K bright, if you work with checks, very cool mod. Components redone, new textures and stuff. Alternative human eyes, great mod. The new moon replacer is very cool, but don't look at it and then move your mouse to left and right, because then the moon turns with you as well. Then either body textures and Valkyrie face textures. I have FSM textures, but I'm not allowed to distribute them because the author removed them from the Nexus. Then we have NPCs. I have What's Your Name? A NPC replacer for Desdemona. Singing settler is very cool, so you can assign a settler to sing in your settlement. And NPC travel, that makes adds new NPC to the game that travel, and they don't make your game crash actually. Overhauls, yeah, install that as late as you can as well. Unique NPCs of the Commonwealth, be careful, that mod is extremely huge, and don't forget to choose a texture pack that you have to manually download in place. I believe mine was 1.5 GB big. Looks menu, of course, Church of Adam Overhaul, Wasteland Import, Super Mutant Redux, that's the unique NPC one, and then Horizon, Crimson Riders Convenient Resources, Food, Water, Power, stuff like that. Diamond City Overhaul, and then all the patches for Horizon and all that fun stuff. I couldn't install Live Dismemberment at the moment because I needed ESPs, like active plugins. I need Place because somebody made a couple of days ago a patch for Horizon, so that's very good. And then you see all the Horizon patches that I have actually active right now. Boston FPS fix doesn't work because I have a mod that, well, it doesn't work for me at least. Pip-Pad gives you my Pip-Boy. Faction Housing Overhaul for the Railroad because I do Railroad in my run right now, so it makes it a little bit better. Then a shit ton of player settlement mods, Better Settlers, Conquest, where you can build a base wherever you want. Better Walls, Workshop rearranged, fiddles a little bit around with the workshop system and makes it better. The Howitzer changes the artillery from the Minutemen to actually look like a Howitzer. Place everywhere, lets you place shit everywhere and clip stuff on purpose. Sandbag fortifications, I mean, name says it all, I believe. Better warning, gives you better pop-up when shit gets attacked. Switchboard basically cleans out the railroad base switchboard. I want to use it later, but so I don't delete it yet. Stackable brick walls and foundations, says it all. Snap and Build 2.0, says it all. You can actually build really cool sets that also snap. Homemaker, it expands everything you have anyway in your settlement with hundreds, if not thousands, New items, thicket executions. I can build a base at thicket executions. That wasteland is very good because it gives you the option to place down trees and dead stuff and stones, all that fun stuff, and even more. And this is for floors and stuff, so you can actually like make marble floors and all that fun stuff. It's really good mod. Poses is just in case if I need to do screenshots or anything like that. Power armor is just a new frame, some special power armor types. You can find them all on Nexus. Some new quests and adventures, codes, collector guides, combat zone restored, and America Rising. Even though I don't need this anymore, I'm done with the combat zone. Give me my plugin bag. Radio, of course, Old World Radio Boston, and the new one. Very great radios. No, I don't need that save. Then you have the tattoos, DNX. It's a new tattoo mod that came out. They look okay. You can use them if you want. Unassigned, that's my one. Red Cait, it's just my Cait overhaul that I made. User interface mod. Extended facial sculpting is basically, I don't use it yet, but it's something you can use to like use the sliders better. You know, for example, make some crazy facial expressions in the character creation, all that little fun stuff you can do, but you can also use it just to make more interesting characters if you're unsatisfied with the current sliders. HUD framework you need for Dev UI, HUD and all that stuff in your map in-game, where everything is like, you have like armor locations, bubblehead locations with little dots on the map. Dialogue camera sensitivity is very good if you hate it when you sometimes hit your mouse and get thrown out of a conversation. Nameplates is that you see the health bars of your enemies floating above them, like in an MMO for example, very good. Then looks menu is very important as well, you know, gives you all the stuff you need to create a very good character. MCM menu you need for some mods to work, so you can configure them in-game. HUD++ is something so you can see in-game when you click on an item or you hover over an item, you see how much weight it would add to your overall weight, and you see if the weapon is better, how much it's worth, what components it has, I believe. But the most important thing basically is it shows you how much it weighs and how much it would add to your current weight, so you don't have to check in the Pip-Boy manually all the time. This is just a compatibility patch. The console actually shows you. This mod is very cool because when you open your console and click something, sometimes it only shows a number. Better Console actually shows you the name of the thing you clicked on. This is just a patch, and this is something you need to make the dialogue interface better, so you don't see what you would write, you actually see what you would say in the game. Sorry, I explained that bad. It's basically you see on the text lines at the bottom what your character actually would say. So no more guessing, basically. And then you have body slide and outfit studio, you need that sometimes. Visuals, I have just deluxe makeup, radioactive signs, makes signs glowing again. Extreme particles makes particles better. Cross grid core overhaul is very good because you can basically incinerate people so only their skeleton is left. Works on basically everything, even death claws. Face light gives you just a little bit of light around your character, so if you talk in the dark you can see a little bit of the face. And this is just to make ghouls look a little bit better. Sister of Battle is an armor mod from a friend, as you see here. Really cool one. I used this on one of my companions. Whether I have NIC. NIC is basically a very crazy mod that is like It has 70 plus weather templates. That's very good. And you can activate with that basically, like, it's like a fake ENB. But it's not active from the start, you can configure it later. But I basically use these two for the weather. I myself, I believe I use Grimwolf ENB / Reshade right now. Yeah, that's what I use. And of course then you have all the weapon mods that I don't want to explain right now. But there are some packages in there, stuff like that. And if you downloaded the, what is that mod called? I believe Horizon has also a little mod pack. I believe it's not in here, it's somewhere else. No, here. Official Horizon Weapon Merge Pack. Keep in mind that you download this first and check out what weapons it makes usable for Horizon, because you don't need to download them manually then, because this actually has a lot of weapons included from the Nexus. Yeah. And that's basically everything. So just to round everything up at the end, keep in mind to clean your saves every once in a while with fall rim tools. Then get loot, even though you don't believe loot. Get loot, it just helps you, and then throw everything that has Horizon in its name at the bottom. Like the Horizon ESP and then all the patches. And don't forget, if you get like the symbol, you can't like swap it. It basically means you can't put the patch or something above what's needed, basically. I believe I explained that shitty as well. Let me think about my words. Yeah, you need to have the mod above the patch. Basically, if you have the patch above the mod, it doesn't work. And mostly it gives you the error symbol. And keep in mind to activate Horizon as last, same with the patches. And then do gameplay effects and changes. And the hair and face mods, basically install them right before you install Horizon. So Horizon can overwrite everything so it works properly. And if you install new mods, keep in mind that if you have like 5 or 6 mods under Horizon that are not like patches, sometimes like not Horizon completely will shut down, but sometimes stuff will not work right. And there's an easy way to find out if Horizon works or not. If you go to a doctor, and there is a new menu for the doctors where you can click on like cure everything and stuff like that. It's basically a convenient little menu. If that menu pops up, your Horizon works. If not, your Horizon does not work. Sometimes I have that when I downloaded, for example, 6 new mods and they are under Horizon, then sometimes stuff gets deactivated. So keep that in mind. So if you have any questions about mods, errors, just ask me. The only thing I changed is in the ENB series, I changed the VRAM size, I believe, from false to true. And I put in like 25,000 as a number because I have 27,000 VRAM. So keep in mind what number you put in there if you use ENB. I believe there is a tool that can scan for your VRAM size on the ENB page. Just type into Google VRAM size tool or something, and then you probably will find it. If there are any more questions, well, just ask, and yeah. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye, and subscribe, please. Thank you.